Hello and welcome back. Alright. So last time we did the last of the 15 by 15 puzzles, and now we are starting up the and now we're into the 15 by 20 puzzles. And I'm almost certainly going to finish today, so. Alright, puzzle 141. Hello, I'm Dragon Rider Luke. I'm a Christian streamer, and I'm always up for a friendly chat about my faith. I also think that it's important that people read or hear the Word of God frequently, so the next 5 minutes or so will be a chapter from the Bible. Deuteronomy 3. Next we turned and went up along the road toward Bashan, and Og king of Bashan with his whole army marched out to meet us in battle at Edrei. The Lord said to me, "Do not be afraid of him, for I have delivered him into your hands, along with his whole army and his land. Do to him what you did to Sihon king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon." So the Lord our God also gave into our hands Og king of Bashan and all his army. We struck them down, leaving no survivors. At that time we took all his cities. There was not one of the 60 cities that we did not take from them. The whole region of Argob, Og's kingdom in Bashan. All these cities were fortified with high walls and with gates and bars. And there were also a great many unwalled villages. We completely destroyed them, as we had done with Sihon king of Heshbon, destroying every city, men, women, and children. But all the livestock and the plunder from their cities we carried off for ourselves. So at that time we took from these two kings of the Amorites the territory east of the Jordan, from the Arnon Gorge as far as Mount Hermon. Hermon is called Syrian by the Sidonians. The Amorites call it Sinir. We took all the towns on the plateau, and all Gilead, and all Bashan as far as Salika and Edrei, towns of Og's kingdom in Bashan. Og king of Bashan was the last of the Rephites. His bed was decorated with iron and was more than 9 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. It is still in Rabbah of the Ammonites. Of the land that we took over at that time, I gave the Reubenites and the Gadites the territory north of Aroer by the Arnon Gorge, including half the hill country of Gilead, together with its towns. The rest of Gilead and all of Bashan, the kingdom of Og, I gave to the half-tribe of Manasseh. The whole region of Argob in Bashan used to be known as a land of the Rephites. Jair, a descendant of Manasseh, took the whole region of Argob as far as the border of the Geshurites and the Maacathites. It was named after him, so that to this day Bashan is called Havoth Jair. And I gave Gilead to Machir. But to the Reubenites and the Gadites I gave the territory extending from Gilead down to the Arnon Gorge, the middle of the gorge being the border, and out to the Jabbok River, which is the border of the Ammonites. Its western border was the Jordan in the Arabah, from Kinnereth to the Sea of Arabah, that is, the Dead Sea, below the slopes of Pisgah. I commanded you at that time. The Lord your God has given you this land to take possession of it. But all your able-bodied men, armed for battle, must cross over ahead of the other Israelites. However, your wives, your children, and your livestock, I know you have much livestock, may stay in the towns I have given you, until the Lord gives rest to your fellow Israelites as he has to you. And they too have taken over the land that the Lord your God is giving them across the Jordan. After that, each of you may go back to the possession I have given you. At that time I commanded Joshua, "You have seen with your own eyes all that the Lord your God has done to these two kings. The Lord will do the same to all the kingdoms over there where you are going. Do not be afraid of them. The Lord your God himself will fight for you." At that time I pleaded with the Lord, "Sovereign Lord, you have begun to show your servant your greatness and your strong hand. For what God is there in heaven or on earth who can do the deeds and mighty works you do? Let me go over and see the good land beyond the Jordan, that fine hill country and Lebanon." But because of you, the Lord was angry with me and would not listen to me. That is enough, the Lord said. Do not speak to me any more about this matter. Go up to the top of Pisgah and look west and north and south and east. Look at the land with your own eyes, since you are not going to cross this Jordan. But commission Joshua, and encourage and strengthen him, for he will lead this people across and will cause them to inherit the land that you will see. So we stayed in the valley near Beth Peor. May God bless the reading of his word. Alright, time for the last and hardest puzzle. For this game, anyway. Moth Orchid. All Picross puzzles complete. You have cleared all of the Picross puzzles. We hope you continue to enjoy playing Picross. Picross staff. Alright. Not only did I clear them all, I also cleared them all without doing any assist. That's what the medal there is for. Now, Mega Picross. I do want to show it off. I'm not going to do it. It's all of the same results. Mega Picross for beginners. Mega Picross is harder than normal Picross. If you're playing for the first time, we recommend playing Mega Picross after playing normal Picross puzzles first. Welcome to Mega Picross. First, it might be helpful to learn about useful techniques for Mega Picross. Do you want to view the tutorial? Tutorial puzzle controls. Please use button input during the tutorial, because this is a touchscreen enabled game. Welcome to the Mega Picross tutorial. Let's go over the basics of Mega Picross. We'll be using this puzzle as an example. Mega Picross has a new type of line called a Mega Line. Mega Lines are marked with at least one Mega number, and have different rules from other lines. Mega numbers indicate a shape of connected squares that extends into both lines. Like here. And here. Mega numbers have the following rules. 1. They always cover two lines. The squares indicated by a mega number cannot be only on one line. 2. The squares indicated by each mega number are always connected. 3. Mega numbers are not linked to normal hints. Squares indicated by mega numbers cannot touch squares indicated by normal hint numbers on the same mega line. That's about it for our explanation of mega numbers. Now let's talk about normal hint numbers in mega lines. Normal-sized hint numbers that appear on mega lines are just for the lines they appear on. Like here. And here. Normal hints on mega lines follow normal rules, except for the following. 1. They can't touch any squares from the other side of a mega line. This can be confusing, so be careful. 2. They can't touch normal hints from the same mega line either, which means once you fill in a square from a normal hint line on a mega line, the adjacent square on the other half of the mega line is always an X. Apart from that, normal hint patterns are not related to the normal hints on the adjacent line. This is very important. Try to remember this example. And that's it. Let's try solving this puzzle together. Start on lines with blue hints that are not mega lines. Apply the same methods for normal Picross puzzles. Let's fill the puzzle in automatically until we come to a mega line. Horizontal lines. Then vertical lines. Then horizontal lines again. Lines with blue hints too. Now the only blue hints are on mega lines. If you solve the normal hints first like this, mega lines are a little easier. Now let's move on to the mega lines. We'll use this line as an example. These two squares are already filled in, and they go across both lines. They must belong to the mega number. And this square will definitely be part of the 5, since there aren't any hints to the right of the 5. All three squares are part of the 5 hint, so they have to be linked. Which means these squares need to be filled in. Go ahead and fill them in. Nice job. Let's look at this mega line a bit more. Since we found all the squares from the 5 hint, none of the adjacent squares can be used. And mega lines and normal hints cannot touch these squares. None of these squares can be used. Put an X on them. Well done. Look, normal hints just turned blue. Let's quickly fill those in now. Vertically. And horizontally. There we go. Next, let's look at this mega line. Nice. All the squares for the 5 hint have already been found. That means we can mark this square with an X. Go ahead and add an X. Good. More normal lines just turned blue. Hang on while we finish them. Now, this mega line. Look at this 2 hint. You can solve normal hints in mega lines using tips and patterns from normal Picross. Possible patterns from the left and from the right. There's a correct square used in both patterns. Here it is, fill it in. You're doing well. Remember the rules for normal hints in mega lines? They can't touch other hints in the same mega line. Once you've finished a normal hint on a mega line, always mark adjacent squares from the same mega line with an X. That means you can go ahead and put an X here. Well done! Next, let's look at this mega line. These 2 squares are part of the 4 hint. Think about where the rest of the squares for this hint are. Since it is already extended over both lines, let's look where the other 2 squares could go. This way and this way are 2 potential patterns. Notice that there is 1 square used in both patterns. This is the one, fill it in. Great. All the squares on this row have been found, so we can mark the others with an X. We'll do that automatically. And now we can solve mega number 4. Fill in the final square for the 4 hint, then add an X to any adjacent squares. Well done! Now let's look at this 9. Since we've already finished the 4 hint, the only correct squares left are the ones that belong to the 9 hint. There are only 2 ways that we can link all 9 squares. This way and this way. The square used in both patterns is right here. Also, if we look carefully, we can see a square that's not used in either pattern. Right here. Fill in the correct square fill in the correct square and add an X to the incorrect square. You got it. We only have a few squares left now. Go ahead and complete the puzzle. Well done! You're on your way to becoming a Mega Picross Master. Remember to start from normal blue hints before tackling the harder Mega lines. Before you go, here's one last important tip. If there are normal hints on the end of a Mega line and no normal hints on the other side of a Mega line, some squares on the end of the line with no normal hints will definitely be an X. That's all for explanation of Mega Picross. You can review the content here at any time from the tutorial screen. Have fun playing Mega Picross. Except I'm not going to. That's it. I'm not doing the Mega Picross puzzles. It's not happening. So for those watching on YouTube, that's it for today. I'm moving on to a different game. I just wanted to show you what Mega Picross is, because, I'm not doing it. It's here, but I'm not doing it. So, that's gonna be all for today, so thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.